Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Servet Oksus, and I taught in US public schools for 12 years, high school mathematics. And the classes I taught was Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus. I taught AP Calculus AB for 6 years and AP Calculus BC for 4 years and AP Statistics. Also, I was volunteering to run AMC 8, AMC 10, 12, and math counts in my schools. I also have experience in as an adjunct professor at a community college in Austin. The upcoming 12 weeks and AP Calculus AB and BC. AP Calculus AB exam covers the first semester of Calculus 1, and AP Calculus covers Calculus 1 and Calculus 2. And historically, half of the AP Calculus BC exam is the same as AP Calculus AB. For example, there are 6 questions in each AP Calculus AB BC in free response, and 3 of those questions are common. They are exactly the same. In this course, from February 1st to March 29th, we will be covering AP Calculus AB only part, and for the other 4 weeks, we will do AP Calculus BC part. We will have weekly homeworks, and it will take approximately 45 to 90 minutes. And here we describe the difference between AP Calculus AB and BC. So it's AB is 1 semester, first semester calculus class, and AP Calculus BC is first and second semester. If you have passing score in AP Calculus AB, it means you can transfer it to Calculus 1. You can skip Calculus 1 class. And if you have a passing score from AP Calculus BC, you can skip AP Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 in your freshman year in college. These are the score distribution. So here, when you compare AP Calculus AB, 64.2% passed, and AP Calculus BC, 78.6% passed. They got 3 or more. Some people think AP Calculus BC is harder, but according to College Board, the difficulty level of AP Calculus AB and BC are the same. And this difference comes from the student selection. Usually, I can tell more rigorous students are choosing AP Calculus BC, and they are more willing to have hard working. That's why you can see more the students who are taking Calculus BC have more passing scores. And you can see in the score distribution, almost half of the students in BC are getting 5. You can compare with other STEM related AP Calculus exams and compare what percent of the students are passing. And as you see, for Calculus AB, passing percentage is lower than many of the STEM related AP exams. These are the exam description. There are 2 parts, multiple choice, and it's same for AB and BC. 45 questions, 1 hour and 45 minutes, and in the scoring, it will have 50% importance. And these 45 questions also have 2 parts. One part is calculator not permitted. So it means for those questions, you don't need a calculator. And the part B is graphing calculator is required. And we also need to practice some skills in using graphing calculator. We will learn how to do integration with and without calculator, because both of the skills are tested. The questions, algebraic, exponential, logarithmic, trigonometric, and general types of functions. And it can have analytical, graphical, tabular, and verbal types of representations. Sometimes they can give you a graph and they can ask you questions about derivative, integral, or limits. Or they can give the function as like f of x equals a polynomial, or f of x equals x times sine x. Those type of questions are also included. And also they can describe the functions with tables. You can expect different representations of functions. And the second part is free response. Also, free response have two parts. Calculator allowed the first two questions of free response, and it is 30 minutes. It means you should expect to spend about 15 minutes for each question. And the second part is 4 questions, 60 minutes. It's same, like in calculator not allowed part, you will also be expected to spend around 15 minutes or less than 15 minutes. And the question include at least 2 questions that incorporate real-world context. You can see free response questions about Newton law of cooling. Let's say you put a potato in the oven and you take it to room temperature, and you are expected to find what is the temperature after certain minutes by using calculus concepts. You can see that type of questions in free response. And here in multiple choice, 30 questions, 60 minutes. In calculator not permitted part, you are expected to spend about 2 minutes for each question. So this time management is very important. Like when you are practicing for AP Calculus test, if you are spending more than 2 minutes for a multiple choice question, it means you need to spend your time more wisely. In calculator allowed part, you are expected to spend 3 minutes in average for each question. Calculator allowed questions requires more calculation, and typing the question in the calculator will also take time. But still, it is 3 minutes for each question. This is an important thing, like for your time management. How many minutes you are expected to spend for different types of questions. And this is the units. It will be covered in Calculus A, B, and BC, which is the first semester of college calculus. Limits and continuity, differentiation, and differentiation, composite, implicit, and inverse function. It's more about differentiation. And contextual applications of differentiation. How do we use the derivatives and differentiation in real life problems? Analytical applications of differentiation. There are some theorems we are going to cover, like mean value theorem, or optimization problems. These are challenging problems. So this is, if you get it, it's really fun. Like the questions about how to optimize a profit. If the cost function is given, how we can optimize our profit for a company, or you are given certain amount of material and how you can maximize the volume, for example. And also this is still calculus A, B, and BC part. Integration and accumulation of change. We will learn about integration. differential equations, and applications of integration, like how to find area or volume by using integrals. And the next part is the topics are not included in AP Calculus AB, but just AP Calculus BC. For integration, we have additional techniques of integration. And in differential equations, Euler's method is an extra method. It is not covered in AP Calculus AB, but it is in AP Calculus BC. And one of the applications of integration, not in AB but BC, arc length. So for example, a curve is given, and we are going to find what's the length of the curve by using integration. That is not part of Calculus AB, but BC. Parametric equations, polar coordinates, and vector-valued functions. I believe you learned polar coordinates and vectors in pre-calculus, and we will also do the calculus part of these functions, like how to find the derivatives and integrals of parametric functions, how we can find the area or volume by using polar coordinates, and how we can find the derivatives and integrals of vector-valued functions. And the other topic, infinite sequence and series. So this is the biggest difference between Calculus AB and BC. Some students find it challenging, but this is like the main topic in Calculus ABC, Calculus BC, but not covered in Calculus AB. We will. So the sequences, sequence is a function just defined in counting numbers, just in natural numbers, and series is basically the sum of a sequence, sum of an infinite sequence. And we will see convergence and divergence of these series. Convergence means the infinite sum is, this is a really interesting concept. The infinite sum, maybe this sequence is infinite, but the sum of the infinite sequence is finite. It's approaching to a number, and we say those type of series convergent. And if it is not approaching to a finite number, then we say it's divergent. We will be talking about the details later. And this is the canvas. And if you take any classes from Momentum Learning before, I think you are familiar with these. You will see announcement, assignments, discussions on the left side, and this is the Zoom link. When you click here, you will be attending to the Zoom meetings that we will do every Sunday. And weekly modules, you will click here and you will see the handouts. They put in statistics, but you will see in calculus what is. So the first one is the topics we cover in the class. And you see the practice problems, and you will see also the homework. And if for some reason, if you need to go back to the recording, go back to our class, you can click the recording, and it's going to be uploaded to the system right after our class, and you can also view the recordings. Okay, this is an example of a calculus. I think this is AB and BC together problem. As you see, the function is given as a piecewise function. It is not just like f of x equals 2x or something like that. No, this is the derivative of the function is given. And you will be answering some questions. This is how a free response questions looks like. And you see that there are parts A, B, C, D. In the rubric, you will see every single question, every single free response question will be 9 points in total. So the maximum points you can earn from free responses, 54 points. And the same thing for multiple choice. There are 45 questions and each question worth 1.2 points, 1.2 times 45. It will have 45 points. 54 points. And the maximum points you can earn from calculus A, B, or BC, they have the same rules, 108 points. Here, look, part A is 1 point. It's a straightforward, and part 2 is 2 points, and the rubric is very clear. Like if you write the intervals correctly, you will get 1 point, and if you tell the reasoning, like the reasoning is here, f prime, which is the derivative of f, is decreasing on these intervals, you will earn 1 point. 1 plus 2, 3 points. And part C, 3 points in total. But these are how to earn points. Like if you write the limits correctly, you will have 1 point. If you use L'Hopital rule correctly, you will earn another point. And if you get the answer correctly, you will earn 1 point. Let's say in a scenario, you do everything correctly, but get an incorrect answer. It doesn't affect you to lose points from here. And part D, again, this is 3 points in total. And this is how you can earn those 3 points. Are you using the derivative? Yes, then you earn 1 point. And this is the justification part. So you need to write a sentence similar to this or something meaning this type of justification. You will earn another point. And if you get the answer correctly, you will get another point. If you get the answer correctly, but didn't justify your answer, you will still get this 1 point. That is something good to know. And again, I'm sorry about being about 10 minutes late for the open house. Do you guys, do you have any question? I like your profile picture. It reminds me of London, the double-deck bus, London Eye, and the clock tower. Okay, and these are some important information like the Momentum Learning website, the office phone number, and this is the email address. If you don't have any questions, I hope to see you in 2 weeks.